To build your templates, you're going to take your cutout paper panels from the 1:1 scale plan that you've printed and attach them to the material of your choice. What I'm using here is probably an 1/8 to 3/16 inch thick whiteboard material that I got at the local home center. And I like it because it's smooth on both sides. It's easy to stick the paper to with this spray-on adhesive. This happens to be Loctite brand, but 3M also makes some good spray adhesive. And I spray it and attach it. And then here you see I use a bandsaw to cut this out because the whiteboard material is wood. It's basically hardboard or masonite coated with the smooth material. So I use a bandsaw and I cut as close to the line as I can, but you'll see in a minute that I actually sand to my final dimension. That's just to make sure it's smooth and even. And if you don't have a bandsaw, I recommend you can use poster board or any number of things. I started using this whiteboard masonite material because in the past I used to hot cut the templates when I was cutting out my PC31, but now we're going to cut it with a razor blade, and so you can use really any material you want, whatever is going to be durable. Here I'm using a power sander to get down closer to the line. You can see again, if you don't have shop tools, you can buy sandpaper and sand, or you can just use a straight edge, a metal straight edge, and a razor blade to cut cardboard or mat board. As long as it's not cardboard with layers. You don't want to have layers because you'll end up cutting it when you cut your sail. But I sand to dimension here, and then here's the larger piece. With an oscillating spindle sander like this, you want to use the largest diameter spindle you have, and you need to go light and just real light touch, otherwise you'll end up sanding divots into the edge, which will reflect. After the power sander, I take a block, and these panels are really, because they have a lot of straight edges, I just use a block and I use that to get it as smooth and straight as I can, kind of the final sanding process. I go through each one and just set it aside as I complete it. And then, the last thing that I'll end up doing is I'll take a razor blade and take off. It leaves some fine dust, kind of on the back of it, and that's just this particular material. So here I am taking the razor blade and cleaning off that the sort of frayed off dust, and then that just makes it so you don't have anything getting in the way when you're cutting with your knife, or if you're hot cutting, it doesn't interrupt that process. Then I clean everything off so there's no dust, because I have had the problem in the past where the sawdust from cutting the panels actually stains the fabric. So once you get everything clean, you'll be pretty much ready to go for the next process, ready to cut panels.